Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are gonna create this mummy 3D layer art for Halloween. Let's check a couple of things before we assemble all the pieces. So I'm gonna upload the SVG to Design Space. And then once we have the SVG here, this is a pretty good size for a small mummy if you want. We have all the layers here, and we have basically two groups, one for the boo and one for the mummy by itself, and then at the end both in one group. You can hit naked to kind of see the size of each layer, and then you can make it bigger. So I'm checking right now, and then you hit naked again just to double check and see if you still wanted to make it bigger, and then you can play a little bit until you get the size that you want. For this particular case, you will see that if you make it too big, then you will get the message that you need a longer mat. So if you have it, you are good to go. If you don't, then you have to adjust the size to make it fit at 12 by 12 inches per stock. And this is how you can kind of test it if you're making it either bigger or smaller to see how it's gonna look on the mat before you actually make it, and until you get the size that you want. For this particular design, also what you can do is ungroup the boo from the mummy, and then you can play with each one to either make it bigger or smaller one compared to the other one. So I'm just gonna make it smaller here just to show you the layers. You can see here the size that I'm having right now. At least for this particular design, you are good to make it smaller because it doesn't have any intricate cuts. So these are all the layers, and basically what you're going to do is start for the black layer all the way to the first one. I will skip this assembly part on this video just to make this video short, but that's how you are gonna assemble the layers one on top of the other one until you put the very first one. And we'll do the same thing with the boo. So I'm separating the layers here. The colors are optional, you can change them if you want, and you will see once I start assembling these that I actually use different colors. And again, start from the last one if you're using cardstock. For this particular design, I decided to use glitter. I will show you later. And for the eyes, if you want to add more than one layer, then you can make copies. The SVG design has only one. So this is how the layers are going to be all together. And as you can see, I started for the black one, and then the rest on one on top of the other one until you got the very first one. And you can see here that to have a nice look, I'm using different tones of white, and then after the black one, the first one is kind of gray color. And this is how the layers are gonna look once you put them all together. Look at these eyes. I'm using foil vinyl to give you that look. It was pretty cool. And I use also the foamy dots. Okay, so now I'm putting together the whirlpool. So for this particular case, the third layer, which is the one I'm doing, I'm using adhesive glitter vinyl because I wanted to use kind of something shiny to give it a little bit of life along with the mummy, because the mummy is pretty much white color with black, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then I'm using also adhesive glitter vinyl for the very last layer, the one that goes at the top. And this one is going to be on top of the bowl with the white lines, which I created like that just to make it look similar to the moon. And you can use definitely cardstock for this and you will get the same result. I just wanted it to do it like this to kind of save some time in terms of having to use glue, and also because, you know, glitter is always shiny and I like the look that gives to anything. And as I said, this is adhesive glitter vinyl, so I don't have to use glue. And I'm just pressing a little bit just to make sure it's not gonna get removed by any chance. And if you notice, so I'm using my first two layers are black, and I'm leaving the very last one at the very end because that's the one that is going to be attached to the mummy, and I wanted to get these other layers before that because I'm using the adhesive glitter, and it was going to be more difficult if I started from the last layer. So at the end, the order, it will depend on the materials that you use. If you use the adhesive glitter like the one I'm using, I would recommend to start to kind of build the layers separate and then put them all together. So right now I'm working on the layers 1 and 2, which are the ones that go at the very top of this design, and then I will place it on top of the whirlpool that I have in front of me with the gray, silver adhesive glitter. But before that, I was almost forgetting that I needed to have these little pieces in the center, so I'm doing that right now before I continue adding the foamy dots on the back. Now, yeah, my whole board is actually complete. I was missing that step a little bit. Okay, so now I'm adding more foamy dots. These are very small, so which is perfect for this type of design or layer, specifically because I don't have to cut foamy pieces into smaller ones. So it's good to have different size of foamy dots because you may need different size all the time. So for the mummy, I use actually bigger size, and for this one that I'm putting together right now, I'm using the smaller ones, and you don't notice them unless you kind of flip the image to see how the layers look on one side, but with from the front view you don't see them at all. So that's why these little foamy dots are very cool. I use them a lot, by the way. And also this design is available on my Etsy store, so you are welcome to visit my store and check all the designs that I create. I create pretty much 3D and layer designs, so I will leave the link on the description below so you can take a look if you would like to. Also, you are welcome to join my Facebook group. I teach classes on how I create my designs and other things that people want to learn, so you are welcome also, and to be part of it, and I'm also leaving the link below. So a good thing to do when you are actually using foamy dots is do not remove the mulling ones unless it's a design that it won't be required to be careful. But if you notice for this designs is actually fitting in between, so you can see all the silver glitter around, even that is behind. So I want to make sure that it's actually even, all the layers are even, and that's why it's a good thing to remove the paper for the foamy dots as you go, so that way if you need to fix something you are still on time. And you can do the same with the mummy if you think is necessary. So now I have the blue bar almost done. I'm just gonna work with the last layer, the one that goes below or at the bottom, and I'm just gonna cut some foamy dots by half because they are square but kind of big for this particular design. So I'm making them smaller, and that way I save also on foamy dots. I use them a lot, so I try to save as much as I can. And also that's what I was kind of going through a little bit, how to adjust the size of the mummy, which could be applied for any design. So in order to save some paper, because sometimes once you make the cut there is not much left over that you can use. It's not always, but it happens. So it's a good idea to think in terms of that also when you are deciding the size for your designs. So now I have almost done this part, and then the next step will be attach it to the mummy. So because the mummy has a lot of kind of spaces in between, I'm kind of gonna put one foamy dot first to see where the whirlpool looks fine, which I think is like this, and then I'm gonna start adding the other foamy dots in places where I have a layer that allows me to attach it with the whirlpool. And I think this is a good idea because the design has a lot of spaces in between. So if you just put the foamy dots either on the mummy or on the whirlpool, they may be flying in the air, and then there won't be a place to stick them together, the mummy and the whirlpool. So that's what I recommend there, at least for this particular step. Also, when you're putting together the layers for the mummy, I recommend do not put foamy in the center, because if you notice there are also space in between, so it would be hard to guess where they are. And here's the final result. It looks pretty cool. It's gonna be one of my decorations for Halloween at my place also. So it looks pretty cool, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have fun watching also. Thank you once again for watching. See you on my next video. Bye bye.